Hey guys, we have another jam-packed week of astrology transits going on this week. We have Jupiter moving into Aries. We have Mercury going retrograde this week. We have a full moon in Taurus and Scorpio that we are building into all week. That is also a lunar eclipse. Lots to talk about, lots of shifting energy that we have going on this week as well. And to start this week off, you guys, we have a grand cross going on in the sky between our moon in Leo, Saturn in Aquarius, and the north and the south nodes of the moon, Taurus and Scorpio. Fixed sign grand cross to start our week, which again is quite a big and significant astrological week as we are building towards this very powerful Scorpio full moon. So let's jump into the report, you guys, and see how all of this is unfolding to start this week off. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Today is Monday, May 9th, 2022. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook of the day, and it's a Monday, so let's talk a little bit about the week ahead as well. First of all, just to sort of lay the groundwork, on the 11th, we have Jupiter moving into Aries. On the 12th, we have Mercury going retrograde. On the 13th, the Sun will come into exact conjunction with the north node of the moon, and on the 15th, we have this very powerful full moon lunar eclipse that is going to be happening in the signs of Taurus and Scorpio, and this is also going to be in trine to Mars and to Neptune and in a square to Saturn. So lots of big business going on this week. Almost every day we have some type of significant aspect playing out, lots of shifts going on in the vibrations this week as well. Jupiter moving into Aries, this is going to be a pretty significant shift in terms of just bringing some energy back to the scene. Jupiter and Aries, this is likely to bring, some expanded courage to pursue the things that we are passionate about. Really some moving forward energy coming through with Jupiter moving into Aries, but simultaneously, then we also have Mercury going retrograde the next day. So while we do have sort of this fire that is about to be lit under us this week, there is the Mercury retrograde aspect of things coming in as well. And then with the Sun coming into alignment with the north node, this is, very, very highly fated, destined energy building into this full moon, which is also going to be a lunar eclipse, Taurus, Scorpio. Lots of big business going on this week, you guys. Should be a pretty significant week in sort of helping us move forward and release a lot of the things that have been holding us back. Now, let's go back to today, what we are opening our week with. As I said in my intro, we do have a grand cross going on in the fixed signs. This is because we currently have Saturn at 25 degrees of Aquarius. We have the north and the south nodes of the moon right now at 23 degrees of Taurus and Scorpio, and the moon in Leo today is going to be coming through the end of Leo, through the later degrees of Leo, and is going to be triggering this grand cross between all those planets. Now, this is not exact, because as I said, the nodes are at 23, Taurus and Scorpio, and Saturn is at 25, so there is a 2-degree orb off spacing in between these planets, but with the moon lining up as well, like this is very much, still quite a tight grand cross that we have going on. And this is fixed signs, you guys. Fixed signs have a tendency of being a bit, fixed and stubborn, and this grand cross coming through is going to be helping us to break through some resistances in one way or another. Now, let's think about the signs and the planets that are involved in this grand cross. First of all, we're talking about a grand cross. This is 4 squares going on in 2 oppositions, 2 planets essentially in opposition to each other. Well, yeah, there's 2 sets of oppositions going on. Of course, the north and the south node, always in exact opposition, and the moon is going to be forming the opposition to Saturn. But it's also like 4 squares. We have Saturn squaring the north node squaring the moon squaring the south node squaring Saturn. So it really sets up this grand cross. And squares, just generally, these aspects are 90-degree aspects, and they create tension and irritation and frustration because they're pushing for some type of change, some type of breakthrough, some type of solution or evolution out of whatever is causing or responsible for that initial conflict. And grand crosses, this is sort of like squares on steroids, and especially in the fixed signs that have a tendency, again, of being like quite steadfast, and I mean, they're fixed. They have a tendency of being stubborn. And so a grand cross and fixed signs like this could definitely be bringing up some of this like inner tension, inner conflict, irritation, and externally as well. We might feel like we are sort of in a vice kind of, or facing situations that are just like very much constricting us in one way or another, and we are sort of seeking to break through whatever resistances this energy might be bringing to us in, you know, one circumstance or another. So we're talking about a grand cross, we're talking about fixed signs, and we're also talking about the moon being in the sign of Leo, the sign ruled by the sun and representing like our heart and our joy and how we play and have fun and express ourselves, our personal, authentic, creative self-expression, really contained in the sign of Leo. It also brings, you know, the qualities of the lion: brave, courageous, strong, loyal. So we have sort of these general themes in the context of our emotions, the moon, what's going on with our feelings inside of us. And then across from that, we have Saturn in the sign of Aquarius. Now, Saturn rules karma. The South Node also rules karma, so this is a very karmic grand cross that we have playing out. But Saturn is also like the strict teacher, the strict disciplinarian, the harsh judge, and presents to us essentially like our lessons and can create, you know, some challenges that we need to overcome. And with Saturn being in the sign of Aquarius, these are the lessons that we really need to learn right now in order to make this energetic shift into this new paradigm, into the age of Aquarius, which really is the name of the game in terms of all of the aspects that are unfolding right now as humanity collectively is transitioning ages from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius. So we have the moon, our emotions, our feelings, what's going on inside of us in Leo, lining up oppositionally to reflecting on Saturn in Aquarius. This could have us reflecting on what must be done to break ourselves free from the past, the South Node. Another one of the points in this Grand Cross, the South Node rules the past and again, karma, but also really what we need to release, let go of, move on from in order to go in the direction of the North Node in Taurus right now, which is the next phase of growth, the next lesson plan that's coming in. Like, fate, destiny as well, and where we are being guided for our optimal growth at this point in time, especially being in the sign of Taurus. So with this setup of planets, reflecting on what must be done at this point in time to break ourselves free from, to break through these resistances from our past selves, essentially our past circumstances, our past mindsets and scenarios and beliefs, and the things from the past that we've perhaps been attached to that are just no longer aligned with us or no longer benefiting us anymore in this trajectory of growth going forward, because ultimately that is what we're doing with a Grand Cross featuring the North and the South Node, the Moon in Leo, Saturn in Aquarius. What emotional lessons essentially do we need to learn right now to release ourselves from the things that we have been bound to in the past that have been keeping us out of the truth of our authentic creative potential, our joy, our like true passions that we need to embrace and really like start to embody right now so that we can go in this new direction and grow optimally according to the position of the North Node in Taurus right now, really tapping into our inner resources, those inner talents, those inner potentials, and figuring out a way that we can utilize them to create something physical for ourselves in our tangible reality moving forward. North Node in Taurus. So inner tensions, inner frustrations could be coming up today as a catalyst for change. It's like we may be questioning in this energy, like, how do we live our passion and our joy? What is required of us at this point in time in our lives in order to align with the truth of our heart, our true personal, authentic, creative self-expression, the Moon in Leo? And what challenges or lessons, Saturn and these squares, do we still need to overcome in order to really start aligning with that emotional truth and embodying our joy, embodying our passion, and making our life something worth like celebrating again, and something that we find to be fun and that we can really play in, all these Leo themes in our experience of going through this growth and releasing these things from the past that may have been keeping us from being able to actually perceive this dimension of ourselves, essentially testing our strength. This is Saturn, the teacher that we're talking about, testing our strength, our resolve, our courage, our love, our loyalty, our passion, our endurance, all of these Leo keywords, Leo themes, and it could be, again, like provoking our inner lion in one way or another. We may feel a little bit defensive today, perhaps, in this energy. And again, just bringing up, I mean, it's a grand cross and fixed signs with the north and the south node and the moon and Saturn. We may feel, honestly, in this energy, like considering, what responsibility do we have to our own heart and soul at this point in time, and what responsibilities are really like weighing us down, weighing heavy on our heart, like making us feel like perhaps we have the weight of the world on our shoulders, and what needs to be released so that we can come back to this place where we are in alignment with what brings us joy and what brings us an ability to express our passion and our creativity. This also, could be bringing up themes surrounding children. Like we may feel a little overwhelmed with like our duties and our responsibilities to the care of others as well in this energy, but ultimately helping us to make some type of breakthrough in terms of either conquering the challenges that are set before us in a way that really liberates us to move forward in a new direction in alignment with our heart, or something that is causing us to open up ourselves or our life in such a way that allows us to align our lives and ourselves with that more open-hearted nature in the way that we are doing our lives on a daily basis moving forward. And again, there's this huge aspect of karmic release that is also associated with this, and the South Node in Scorpio really needing to come to a point where we can let go of the more toxic attachments of the past that have been perhaps keeping us out of our authentic truth and our authentic joy and the power that is represented through that. And again, with all this Taurus energy going on and the North Node in Taurus as well right now, we're really sort of on a mission to re-recognize the level of value that we truly hold inside of us. And I feel like that is sort of what this Leo moon is trying to show us as well, in terms of, when we really truly are in that place of authentic alignment with our personal creative self-expression, like the very valuable nature that like leads us to in terms of discovering what we truly hold inside of us and all the potential represented by that can be cultivated and used to grow something beautiful, North Node in Taurus. But of course, there is this karmic lesson, challenges that need to be overcome, our strength, our endurance, our passion, our willpower, all of these Leo themes, and really needing to break some karmic loops and release ourselves from some toxic patterns of the past in this energy as well. So all of that sort of what we may be dealing with today as we open this week, and we have this grand cross and these fixed signs presenting, breaking through resistance. Bottom line. Now let's talk for just a minute about the specific placements of these planets while we have this grand cross playing out today. Saturn, as I said, is currently at 25 degrees of Aquarius. That Sabian symbol is a butterfly with the right wing more perfectly formed. And whenever we're working with this specific degree, I'm always sort of thinking about it in terms of like the right brain, with the right brain more perfectly formed. And the right brain, this is the part of our brain where we connect to our intuition, where we are able to sort of perceive in a very like intangible, more lucid way, the invisible realms of this reality. It's where we align with our spiritual connection, and it also rules like that divine creative inspiration, very creative energy, creative potential that is represented through the functioning, the dynamics embodied in the right brain. And whenever I hear this butterfly with the right wing more perfectly formed, because again, we're talking about like butterflies, like the air element, like mind, thoughts, it always makes me sort of think of the right brain and the creative divine inspiration potential that comes through that part of our mind. And so I feel like with Saturn at this degree in the opposition to the moon in Leo, I feel like we are working to open ourselves up to divine inspiration and the spiritual connection as a catalyst, again, breaking through like the things that are happening, breaking through resistances, and what we're coming up today, sort of acting as a catalyst in this process to help us come back into alignment with that personal, creative, authentic self-expression and the ability to really express that and to use it to is sort of like a tool to bring our lives themselves back into a better alignment with what truly brings us joy, what we have like fun doing, and how we can sort of make our work our play. Like Saturn rules work, tasks, discipline, responsibility, duty. And Leo, this is the sign of like joy and fun and just being like carefree and jovial and playing. And so, yeah, it's sort of like, I feel like this energy is trying to help us break through in a way where we can sort of make our work our play moving forward into this rebirth energy that we're really all sort of going on collectively and entering this new phase of our life and our experience in alignment with this paradigm shift that is simultaneously going on right now. So I find that to be interesting. We also have the north and the south node of the moon right now, sort of back and forth between 22 and 23 degrees of Taurus and Scorpio. So I'm going to read both of the Sabian symbols for these placements. The North Node currently at 23 degrees of Taurus, that Sabian symbol is a jewelry shop filled with valuable gems. And at 22 degrees of Taurus, the position where the moon will be, or the North Node will be pulling to next, that Sabian symbol is a white dove flying over troubled water. So for this, I feel like, again, like this is talking about this restoration of value that we are in the process of right now, re-recognizing like the valuable gems that we hold inside of us and the potential for abundance externally as well that represents, that can actually help us to rise above any of these issues that we may have been navigating on the ground, any of these troubles. A white dove over troubled water, a jewelry shop filled with valuable gems. It's like through this recognition of the value that we hold inside of us and the worth that gives us, the self-love that can equate to, this also simultaneously is helping us to transcend the difficulties and the problems that we may have been navigating and experiencing for quite a while, as we are, again, shifting paradigms right now and really going through this collective rebirth process. The South Node, currently at 23 degrees of Scorpio, is a bunny metamorphosized into a fairy. And then 22 Scorpio, where the node is pulling to, moving, because the nodes move backwards, is hunters protected by heavy clothing are shooting wild ducks. And with these 2 degrees being activated by the position of the South Node, remember, this is what we're releasing. This is what we're moving on from. This is what we're letting go of. I feel like this is talking about overcoming these fears of victimhood that we may have been struggling with based on any sense of that lack of value within us, and also going through this process of transmuting these states, these lower instinctual vibrational states, to a state of self-empowerment, self-mastery. The well-camouflaged hunters shooting wild ducks, they are very much in a state of power. And the bunny metamorphosized into a fairy, this is also talking about, a creature that is commonly hunted metamorphosizing into a creature that is more powerful than those that would do the hunting. You know what I mean? And so, we go from this state of fear and victimhood being perhaps like a target in one way or another to a state of like ultimate transcendence, standing in our self-mastery, standing in our self-empowerment, coming from that place of power where we are having no fear essentially of anything, because we are aware of the laws of this reality, laws of this paradigm, and our own magic. We can make the magic happen. And again, with the North nodes at these positions, I feel like this is talking about, it is coming from this place of recognizing the value within us and the power that gives us to rise out of troubled water, to ascend out of our states of fear, and to be able to release those and to come to this elevated place of self-empowerment. So with all of these Sabian symbols playing out in conjunction with the way that we have this it's not a T-square, Aubrey. I always want to call everything a T-square. It's a grand cross. I do feel like this is talking about, restoring value within us to rise above these troubles. And part of that is coming through this right brain expansion that is helping us with the moon in Leo to really align with the truth of our heart and what really brings us joy and what we're really passionate about and what we really, truly love. And then these South Node degrees transmuting and releasing the victimhood and the fear so that we can stand in the place of power. And again, like all of these symbols as well are putting an emphasis on the air element. We have a butterfly, we have a large white dove, we have a fairy, we have wild ducks going on. This is all all that air energy, ideas, thoughts, communication. And we're talking about our transcendence into the age of Aquarius right now, which is also an air paradigm. So I do feel like these resistances that we're breaking through right now in one way or another are doing something to liberate our mind, our thoughts, our communication, and those aspects, ideas, mind, thoughts, communication, information, messages, conversations, like these type of things might be involved in this catalyst to break through whatever's going on today with this energy, just because of this emphasis on the air element, something about our mind, our thought processes, our ideas, how we're viewing and conceiving reality from our place of mental cognition and perception involved in this catalyst breakthrough process is being represented as we begin this pretty significant week. I mean, again, we do have a pretty big activation going on like every day as we are moving towards this full moon. So definitely emphasis on birds, winged creatures, and the air element coming through in this grand cross today as well, which brings me to the planet Mercury ruling the mind, ideas, communication, conversation, things going back and forth, learning things, just all of that type of information messaging stuff, Mercury being the messenger planet. Now, again, Mercury is about to station and go direct on the 12th, and this is also bringing in that element of like ideas and all of that. And Mercury right now, just to emphasize it even more, is also at a degree that is very much talking about these same things. Mercury currently right now is at 5 degrees of Gemini, and that Sabian symbol is a radical magazine or publication. Mercury, Gemini, ideas, information, words. A radical magazine or publication calling for action displays a sensational front page. So the position of Mercury as well, while we have this grand cross talking about breaking through resistances today, emphasizing these air element themes that Mercury would be the ruler of. And then we have Mercury today stationing, about to go retrograde at a degree, specifically talking about a radical magazine or publication, information, media, news, something that we're reading, something that we're seeing, a blaring headline or something coming through, calling for action, like this breakthrough energy, this catalyst energy. What does it say? Calling for action displays a sensational front page. So again, like there is this theme of this radical information, radical ideas coming up that could be acting as that trigger or acting as that catalyst to help us break through in this new direction somehow. And again, with the moon in Leo, it needs to be in alignment with what brings us joy, what we truly love, what brings us passion, what allows us to reunite with our inner child and really celebrate and experience the joy and the fun and the play of our own lives, and not be, so weighed down by these duties, these responsibilities, these obligations, this work that we need to do. How can we make our work our joy as we move forward in this new direction in authentic alignment? That's what I feel like the energy is really asking of us today, and the way these aspects are playing out. So all week, you guys, with Mercury at this degree and this being the way that we are starting this week, I feel like there is this emphasis on radical news that may perhaps be coming in, displaying a sensational headline, spurring us into some type of action in some type of way. Now, Mercury is going retrograde, like I said, and Mercury, therefore, after, he stations and chills out at 5 Gemini for a while and goes retrograde, will actually be moving to 4 degrees of Gemini, of course, and that Sabian symbol is holly and mistletoe, reawaken old memories of Christmas. So with Mercury moving to that degree in the context of what we have going on this week, I do feel like we are moving in a direction where some of the stuff that we're finding out is actually going to turn out to be some type of gift or some type of blessing from Santa Claus that we, find out later perhaps. But that's where we're moving with this energy. But for today, this radical magazine or publication calling for action displays a sensational front page when we have simultaneously all of these bird air element symbolism going on within this grand cross that we have presenting today to start our week. And of course, we are transitioning into the age of Aquarius, which is also, very relevant today as we have Uranus active as well. Uranus is changing degrees today. Uranus is moving from 15 degrees to 16 degrees of Taurus today. And so whenever Uranus changes, move degree, Uranus is a very slow moving planet. So when we have Uranus active, like when we have Uranus moving in the sky, changing degrees, it does also really spark that Uranian energy as well, which we have had a lot of going on lately with the sun in conjunction to Uranus. And we had a square to Uranus that went on yesterday between the moon and Uranus. But Uranus moving to 16 degrees of Taurus today. That Sabian symbol is... An old teacher fails to interest his pupils in traditional knowledge. So here we are back on these themes of information, teaching, learning, what is being presented to us, fails to interest his students in traditional knowledge. The planet Uranus ruling Aquarius, ruling our energetic shift into the age of Aquarius right now, while we have this Mercury position and while we have this Grand Cross today that is emphasizing these air themes as well. Uranus rules all things radical, you guys. Uranus would rule that radical magazine cover displaying a sensational front page. So with Uranus moving to this degree as well, I feel like we may be about to learn some very surprising things that move us away from the past. This is talking about an old teacher fails to interest his students in traditional knowledge. I feel like this is talking about the power structures and the hierarchies and the belief systems of the past that we're just kind of no longer interested in at this point in time because they're no longer in alignment with what we're perceiving as our actual experience of reality and what we are, aligning with in terms of the truth and what is authentically resonating with us at this point in time. I feel like this is talking about this mental shift away from the ideas and the thought prisons essentially of the past. Uranus breaks us free from things. This is a great liberator. And Uranus at this degree, Mercury stationing at the degree about the radical magazine cover displaying the sensational front page, calling for action. Now remember, we also do have Jupiter moving into Aries this week. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. Aries very, very much so rules taking some type of action, and this Grand Cross playing out today, which I feel like is a catalyst to break through into some type of action. You guys, there could be some, real crazy information that we are gaining an understanding of this week that is really shifting things for us, moving us away from the belief systems, the understandings, the perceptions, the mindsets of the past, and helping us to break through in this new direction, in alignment with our authentic truth, in alignment with our authentic creative potential, recognizing the gifts, the value, the talents that we hold inside of us, and beginning to figure out how we can tap these things to really grow something for ourselves that is physical, tangible in this actual material world. North Node in the sign of Taurus right now, you guys. So all of that, I feel like really kind of playing into each other today as we are opening this significant energetic week, heading towards this powerful full moon lunar eclipse that we are going to be having on the 15th. One more thing that I want to talk about in terms of just the chart that we have playing out for today, Monday, I want to talk about the position of Venus, because Venus is, of course, ruling our Taurus cycle right now. What's going on with Venus is pretty significant in the context of all of this Taurus energy that we have right now, being in Taurus season, the Taurus new moon cycle. And so I want to, just look at the position of Venus, because I feel like that can also give us some additional information. And she currently today is at 9 degrees of Aries. That Sabian symbol is a seer gazes intently into a crystal ball in front of them. So today, you guys, in this energy, I feel like Venus is telling us to use our intuition to guide us as we are navigating whatever is going on. I feel like it's telling us that we really, really need to tap into our intuition. And Venus and Aries, if we're going to pursue something in this energy, we need to be pursuing these intuitive urges that are coming to us and that are, what we're feeling intuitively guided to do is what we're feeling divinely inspired to do, what we're feeling intuitively guided to do, intuitive hunches, intuitive urges. With Venus at this degree about the crystal gazer, I feel like this is an indication today that we just need to be following our intuitive guidance, aligning with spirit, aligning with our higher selves, and using our inner compass as a way of navigating whatever we may be sort of up against in this energy today. So that's what I have to say, you guys, for the chart today, for all that appears to be playing out from an astrological perspective. This grand cross, this is pretty powerful. And again, the 11th, we're having Jupiter into Aries. The 12th, Mercury is going retrograde. The 13th, the sun is going to be conjuncting the north node, and then the 15th, we have this full moon lunar eclipse going on. So very, very karmic, fated, destined energy that we are immersed in and navigating this week in the midst of all of these bigger aspects that we have playing out as well. So that's what I have to say today, you guys, for the message from the stars. Let's talk about the tarot for a minute. I was shuffling this morning. Got a message coming out to, sort of symbolically describe what we may be navigating right now and where we may be at collectively in our transitional process of moving from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius and going through this collective rebirth that is a necessary, side effect of that at this point in time. So we got 4 cards coming out of the deck this morning. I feel like they're giving a pretty clear and concise message of what we really have going on in this energy. First of all, we got the Page of Pentacles. We've been getting this card a lot lately. This is talking about these new opportunities that are right at our fingertips. And it has a lot to do with the fertile nature of what we have going on inside of us and aligning with our authentic creative passion. This is a page card. This is a very much more fresh and youthful energy that sort of brings us back to the inner child. It's and with the moon in Leo today, I feel like this is sort of emphasizing that through this alignment with our authentic creative, self-expression that is represented by the Leo energy, it really is providing an opportunity for us to realize the opportunities that we may have right at the tips of our fingers right now. And then the next card that we had coming out was the Knight of Cups. This is the Knights, these are all messenger cards. And the Knight of Cups, this is a messenger of love and compassion and understanding and empathy and just feeling nature. And so there may be, some forward movement going on right now in our emotional processes that are helping us to rediscover this value that we hold within us and these opportunities that are perhaps at the tip of our fingers. This could also have to do with perhaps messages of love, or since we're in a week that is so sort of guided by this information that may be coming through, there may be some connections coming in as well, some romantic connections or some just more love type energy, emotional type energy coming through in one way or another that is helping us to rediscover or to acknowledge or to begin to really grab hold of and utilize this potential that is at the tip of our fingers. The next 2 cards that we had coming out in this series, though, were the 8 of Wands in reverse and the 5 of Cups in reverse. And I feel like this is telling me, this process that we are in right now of receiving some type of emotional truth, perhaps, has a lot to do with our ability to kind of stop crying over spilled milk at this point in time. Letting go of some of the more heavier negative feelings that perhaps we may have been immersed in terms of the things that we are losing or letting go of at this point in time, any feelings of guilt that we may be carrying, or just in terms of things that didn't turn out how maybe we thought that they would, or that we're experiencing a sense of loss or losing. We really need to be paying attention to the things that we still have going on and that we still have and that have the ability to, restore our understanding of this value that we have going on inside of us. The 5 of Cups, this is a spilled milk card. You know, a lot of people refer to it that way because this person is very disappointed, you know, very upset, very depressed about these three cups being spilled over, but there's these two still upright cups standing right behind him that still, you know, are holding something of value. And with it in reverse, this is actually a process of us like not doing that, of us actually recognizing what we still have and sort of clearing the depression or the guilt or the shame or the negative feelings of like loss and stuff like that that may have been associated with those three cups that were lost. Something about the disappointment being overcome, but it seems to be kind of a slow process with the Eight of Wands in reverse. The Eight of Wands is a card of like quick things happening fast, like quick communication as well. And that also sort of makes sense with Mercury going retrograde this week. And we are talking about a messenger card. So there could be an element or an aspect of things sort of like feeling a little stuck, or us sort of being caught in a more negative emotional state that we are trying to clear, but maybe again, like breaking through these resistances going on in this energy. Like we are breaking through, and it may be, again, like not the quickest process, but we are breaking through these more negative emotional states of the past, and we are returning to a place of more emotional fulfillment and emotional alignment with the value that we hold inside, these fertile grounds within us and the opportunities that they can lead us to. And then on the back of the deck, you guys, we had the King of Swords. So this has a lot to do, again, with helping us to come into our clear and certain power and sort of like taking no crap from anybody, like really like not being deceived, not being in any type of deception, either in terms of the way we're dealing with ourselves or others, being very firm, having very strong boundaries, being very like adamant and logical in our pursuits, and really standing in our mental power. Again, this is a King of Swords. This is about information. It's like this very powerful information that may be coming through this week as well, that is actually helping us to break through this resistance of these more negative feelings that may have been weighing us down or holding us back, so that we can be delivered the emotional truth of this value that we have inside and begin to cultivate and create it and take it from, you know, just at our fingertips to something that we can really plant and sprout and grow and utilize tangibly in the physical world. So that is what we had coming up today in terms of the tarot cards that were wanted to come out in alignment with the astrology today. So that's what we got, you guys. Now let's grab us a synchronicity card. This is going to be just a little message from God, one more piece of advice, wisdom that we can use to help us navigate the energy that we have today, opening this week a little bit better. And, you know, I really love these cards. They have a tendency of being like very on point, and one just went flying out. So let's see what it says. You guys, it says you will prosper. We're going in the right direction. I'm telling you, we're going in the right direction. It says, who is this that engaged his heart to approach unto me, saith the Lord? Jeremiah 30:21. Know that you have love in your heart as well as emotions. Turn to God within. Fill your heart with love and faith and confidence in the one power of God, and everything that you do will prosper. So that is what is being delivered to us today in this this cup of emotional truth that the Knight of Cups is bringing to us to help restore our faith in our resources within and our ability to translate those into something physical that can help us in our actual material reality and to stand in our absolute truth. I mean, King of Swords on the back of the deck, this is about standing in our absolute truth and the power of our truth. And this card is saying, you guys, you will prosper. Know that you have love in your heart, moon in Leo, as well as emotions, this cup energy. turn to God within and fill your heart with love and faith and confidence in the one power of God, and everything you do will prosper. And that is the breakthrough that we are making right now, you guys, as we are moving away from these toxic attachments of the past that have kept us out of the truth of our value and therefore the truth of our power to co-create with God and universe. And in this 222 year, begin to attract, manifest, magnetize to ourselves all that will help us prosper and receive whatever will truly align us with our heart's honest, true, authentic fulfillment. This is where we're going. This is what universe is trying to bring to us. And, you know, again, with this grand cross going on and the Saturn energy and all this, it may feel a little bit just like sticky today, you guys, but you will prosper. We are headed in the right direction, and we just have some breakthroughs to make, some challenges to overcome, some lessons to learn so that we can move successfully in that direction. So that is what I have for the report today, you guys. Message from the stars, message from the cards. I hope you liked it. I hope I was able to provide something of value for you guys that can give you a little bit of whatever you need as you're navigating your day. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. If you did like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends if you think that they would be interested. Leave me comments, you guys. I absolutely love your comments. I love your feedback. I love knowing how these energetics and activations are playing out and affecting you guys. I seriously, honestly appreciate each and every one of you so, so much. I have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, a website, and some other social media. Those are in my description box below. And come back with me tomorrow, you guys. Tomorrow is actually the only day where we don't have like something exact going on this week, but we are building into it and we're going to have a lot to talk about. So you don't want to miss it. I'll be here. You should be here too. Oh, and I forgot to say, you guys, I forgot to say on my video for the weekend, because I shot it on Thursday and I just wasn't thinking about it, but happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers out there. I hope you guys had an absolutely beautiful Mother's Day on Sunday, and I hope that everyone is doing great and had a beautiful weekend. And I wanted to wish you guys all a happy Mother's Day, because I forgot to do that on my weekend video. So happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers out there, belated, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a beautiful day. Bye, guys.